Welcome to Wednesday Wisdom Nugget. Thank you for joining me. The verse is coming from John 14:27, and it reads, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." I want to talk about, this is a part two because I've talked about this before, but I want to talk about grief. And I want to add, what is your legacy? Um, Unfortunately, there have been a lot of deaths going on this year. I was really sad thinking about the singer Angie Stone, like everyone else. It was so sudden. And sometimes we go through stuff like that in life. I also had two family funerals that I recently attended, and one of them kind of gave me a flashback of when my grandfather passed a couple of years ago. And it was kind of hard for me because I saw him the day before and I remember him not talking. I just remember I sat in the room with him and he was praising God. I don't know what he saw, I don't know what vision he saw. But that's the interpretation that I got. I went to work the next day. They called me. I had my cousin call me and tell me that he had passed away, and I was so disheartened. Um, so I say that to say, you never know when the last day is for anyone. None of us know. We don't know when our last day here is. So why sit around moping around, being sad? I've been focusing on not worrying about things that I cannot control. That's wasted time. So every time you sit up and you argue with people, you worry about things that cannot be stopped, that cannot be controlled. You get mad at people in traffic. That's wasted time. Your blood pressure is shooting up, and here you are wasting time. So you have to be very careful. And what I want to say to people is cherish the memories. And if you've recently lost a loved one, cherish every memory. It's important to give people their flowers while they are here. And as millennials, we're getting old. 40, because I'm 37, I'll be 38 in April. We are the next generation, okay? It's time out to look to your auntie, your uncle, your grandmother, your granny's gonna cook. And no, a lot of them are getting older or they're no longer here. So we are the people that have to step and fill those shoes. We have to plan the family outings, the family gatherings. We have to cook Thanksgiving dinner now. We have to bring the family together. And let's just stop being distant. Let's just come together because that's what life is all about. Everyone needs a support system. And I think with grief, it's easy to tell yourself over and over you don't need anybody and you want to be alone. But sometimes being alone can pretty much have your mind racing and thinking about things. So you got to have a support team. And you don't have to tell everyone your business, but it is important to have people around you who genuinely love you and who care about you. And one thing I can't stand is a person that's asking a million questions, trying to get information, and once they get that information, they're gone. I ask God to remove all of those people out of my life because it's tough to be in a season like I'm in and other people. That's just hard. And the last thing you want to do sometimes is talk to people, tell people your business. And I've always been somewhat of a private person. I don't I don't want to involve myself in gossip. I don't want to sit up and talk to people about who had on what. I don't care. And I'm saying now in this day and this time, set your goals and go hard for your goals. Keep God first. Pray, 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 pray. He will comfort you. Grief is a tough, hard pill to swallow, and it is hard. I wouldn't wish grief even on my worst enemy. That is a hard one. But one thing you have to do, sometimes you have to speak over yourself. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to win. And for me, one thing I learned in therapy is writing things down on a card. For instance, this is some examples of things that I write. This says, I am restored in mind, body, and spirit. I am healed in mind, body, and spirit. I am delivered in mind, body, and spirit. I am prosperous in mind, body, and spirit. I am renewed in mind, body, and spirit. And I made this up. This is, I do believe in the power of I am, because I am is in the Bible. And everyone who said I am consistently and believed it and called out to God got healed. So there is power in I am. So I constantly put things like that on cards. I repeat it when I feel down, when I feel low. And this is a Bible verse that I have here. It's Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all things will be given to you. That's all in the word. But like I said, I have a relationship with God. It's not the perfect relationship, but sometimes you need that. You need to be able to keep reciting that, to keep talking to God. And you just need that. You need positivity. You need light. um I try to stay away from darkness, and I try to pray to God to keep people who are inhibiting darkness away from me. I don't need anything else. I don't need complainers around me. I don't need negativity. I don't care, okay? I don't want to hear it. So my spirit is turned off by certain things in certain places and certain people. And I think in a season of grief, people do feel like that. You just feel lonely, you feel sad, you feel low. So it's important to pretty much speak over yourself, talk to yourself, and tell yourself that everything is going to be okay. And think about your own legacy. When you see some of your loved ones passing on, some of their recipes passing on with them, you have to sit back and think, what is my legacy? What do I want to do? What is my purpose? Get with God, fast, get back to fasting, get back to turning off social media, and get in your word and really be serious about it. Pray. It's okay to stop eating. And in my circumstance, unfortunately, I don't think that I can go long periods without eating, but I sometimes fast when it comes to social media. I fast when it comes to TV shows. I fast when it comes to talking on the phone. It's just taking a break from things that you love to get closer to God. And I think that's very important. But yeah, in these days and times, I think we really have to sit down and ask ourselves and ask God, what is our legacy? What would we leave behind financially? What does our family have? Do we have insurance? And that's something people of color, come on, we got to get together. We got to get it together. Come on. And stop just coming around for funerals. You know, there's so many family members. Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, I don't even know this person. You know what I'm saying? And there was a family member that I met this weekend. I didn't even know that this person was my family member. I didn't even know this person was related to me. So it's a small world out here. I did meet a lot of family members, and I also got to see family members I hadn't seen in a while. And it's sad that normally in Black families, that's the only time you really see family. It's at funerals. And I think it has to stop. We have to do better, guys. And we have to come together on the regular. But it's always, in my opinion, it seems like it's always one person who has to take the lead, and that shouldn't be. But anyways, getting back to our legacies. What is your legacy? What is your purpose? Sit back and think. Work towards it week by week. Accomplish your goals. Accomplish weekly goals. Don't sit in. I don't think our loved ones would want us to grieve over them by day and by night. They would want us to go on and just carry their legacy, make their legacy known. Don't let people forget about them. And I know my ancestors would be proud of me. I love my family, and I really, really do. They've done so much for me, and they support me. They love me as is. I don't feel like I ever have to change for them. And that's very rare with families. But that's all that I have. You never know what a person is dealing with. You never know what a person is going through. love on people, because the number one thing that people need when it comes to grief is support, support, support. Because the funeral actually starts, and I saw this on a meme, the actual funeral starts after the funeral. The grief starts after the funeral. Check in with these people, talk to them, make sure that they're okay. Because if the shoe were on the other foot and you were the person that had to grieve, how would you want people to treat you? Would you want them to just be there for the funeral and then leave? No, you want them to still check in with you. And if you don't know what to say, don't say anything at all. That's how I feel. I'm a very empathetic person. I'm a person that cares for one another. And I also try to treat people the way that I would want to be treated. And that's because I know how it feels to be very low. And my heart goes out to anyone right now who is dealing with grief. Let's pray for one another. Let's support one another. And don't give up, guys. That's all I got. Much love. Thank you for supporting me, and I will support you. Bye-bye.